Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 13 and has autism. We paint together, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings, and then I paint the rest. So, here we are, painting the rest. I feel like I'm painting a little yellow Easter egg. Well, I was going to say a little yellow pumpkin, but it is kind of more like an Easter egg. It's not an Easter egg. It's a Easter chick or a chick. Oh, I think I'm past the point of beyond sleepy. Oh, whatever this is, I'm sleep. I need sleep. So here we are painting. So, I had someone earlier ask me what kind of paints I use. Honestly, I will use a wide variety of paints, and some are thicker and some are thinner, and some, it just depends. They're all acrylic paints. In general, I have done some watercolor and things like that, but in general, most of the time when you're seeing me paint, it is acrylic paints. So, but a lot of times I layer my paints, meaning like right now I'm actually painting with two different brands, two different thicknesses together, and going from there, and they're two technically different colors. Let's see if I can, as I knock everything over. So that's, maybe, hopefully it'll focus a little better there. That's what I'm using right now on this. So I don't have a great answer because, it's a great answer because it's the answer, but I don't have a specific, I was going to even say easy answer because that's not it either. I don't have, it's not specific enough because I use so many different paints. So that doesn't help if you're trying to look for a specific color or something, because a lot of times, like I said, when I'm doing something, these two, right now, again, it's probably really hard to see on the camera, but there's two different colors on that. What I'm doing right now in a moment probably isn't going to make that much of a difference, but I'm doing it because I'm tired, and because I'm going to go back in and kind of fluff him up a little bit, or her. I'm not sure which one she is. Now, one thing I don't do a lot of times is switch brushes when I'm painting. A lot of times I'll keep putting the same color on there when I do, especially when I do my flowers. This I've already used two different ones, and this orange is brighter than I really kind of want it a little bit duller. And so not necessarily duller, and I don't really want a peach. I just want it where it's not sticking out quite as much. So this again has the yellow kind of underneath, and then I did white mixed in with this, and now there's some more orange. So trying to kind of make the little feet like almost hearts, even though they really have more than that as their little feet. But that's what I'm kind of doing. And if you've watched before, I talk about this. I have Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid thing, which I'm trying to learn more about it to kind of one autoimmune leads to another autoimmune, which leads to another autoimmune, so forth and so on. So stress, trauma, life, all of that causes more fun with your body. And so I've been trying to kind of learn more about it, and the whole reason I'm explaining this is I have a slight shake when I paint. And so there are some things that should be very easy for me, but I tend to shake. So there you go. I am going to put that down. I thought I was going to knock something over there. I'm going to add a little bit darker yellow. This one's actually called deep yellow, and it's again a thicker one versus a thinner one. Oh, excuse me. And I'm actually going to add some other colors in here. This is what I said, what I did a minute ago doesn't probably, and I may need to change my brush because sometimes these do not like do edges very well. I probably will have to change it, but maybe I'll do it this and then. But I'm going to add some other colors because he's kind of going to be like he's not an Easter egg, but you know, I'm going to make him, and I grabbed his foot, so there's some of the orange. So, and this edge does matter, but that's what I was trying to explain, that I was going to put him some feathers. I keep saying he's a him. I don't know. So, Owen had a pretty good day. The last few weeks, we've been growing a lot. We've been processing and growing, and him and me. I always tell him that we're a team, and that he is teaching me as much as I'm teaching him, and we are working together as much as we're, doing our own little things. And I want him to understand that. I want him to truly kind of, feel that, and not, I want him to make sure that he knows he's not just in this alone, that we are growing together and trying to figure out life together. And he's a kid, and I've been a kid, but it's the first time I've been a parent. And so I don't get all the answers right. I don't get all the questions answered correctly. I don't get all the, first time doesn't always mean it's the right time, so forth and so on and so on and so forth, and back and forth and everything else in between. So, I really need to change my brush. I'm adding some color. There's a little blue on there for my Easter chick. So, we had a snow day, and they had the day off. And a few weeks ago, we've had a wild winter. I know so many people are having that right now. So, we're not special with the winter. We'd like to be non-special at all. We don't want to. We're not like trying to claim it all. Y'all can have some of that back. Well, we will share. We will be happy to share. So, anyways, he usually doesn't like any days off, and when we had the long we had a bad ice storm, snow, the whole kit and caboodle. He was crying the very first day that they were off, and looking at the forecast, I knew that they were going to be home from school many days, and I did not know for sure, but I took it to the extreme, and I told him that they weren't going to be back for basically 10 days. It was from Monday to the following Wednesday. And I wasn't far off. They didn't go back to school until the following week. And there was still a delay, and then they ended up having another day. It's all blending together now. I was about to say they had another day off, which I think they did, but it truly doesn't even sound like realistic anymore. Like, I can't believe how many days off they've had and how many things have been going on. Anyways, so yesterday, he handled it really well as snow started coming, and when he went to bed yesterday, so for today, he was very calm about the fact that most likely, he always says most likely, but it's likely, but he excuse me, kind of leaves that L sound off. But anyways, he knew that there wasn't, even though they hadn't called it at that point, there was going to be a 2-hour delay this morning. But then they also said that there was a possibility once the transportation crew evaluated it. So he slept almost 6, and he woke up after they said that it was going to no school today. So he handled it beautifully. I mean, he did amazing today. He didn't stress out about it. He was very very calm, very, he was very sad. He wanted to be with his teacher. He wanted to be with his class, his people. But for him, how he handled today was actually absolutely fantastic. I mean, he took it all in stride, and it wasn't what he wanted. He wanted to be at school. He wanted to be with his friends and his teacher and everything. But he was sad, not mad, or he was mad, but not, he was fine. He was fine as he can be for the not happiness of what he wanted. But that in itself was huge. That was huge. So, he had a good day. I mean, we did a few things here and there, but he really handled it all. I just realized that he's kind of like leaning tower of something there. So I'm just very proud of him for handling everything the way he did. And at this point, they are on a 2-hour delay for tomorrow. I'm gonna say that that's probably what happens. This morning, I understood why they wanted to, they wanted to do the cautionary, wait and see kind of thing. But I was more shocked that it took them that long to say that it was going to be. And it didn't matter because they had already told us it was a 2-hour delay. So time-wise, it wasn't like we were on pins and needles waiting to know if they were going right away. It was just I knew looking outside that nothing had gone better. It had gotten worse. So now we're supposed to have snow, not as much overnight, but again, we'll see. So he went to bed knowing that we were going to possibly have snow. He did not know that they were going to have a 2-hour delay in the morning. But as well, good, great, as he handled today, I don't think it will be a problem for him tomorrow. But they should, cross your fingers, go to school? Question mark. Isn't that what I'm supposed to do? Say it afterwards. So we're almost there. I was gonna do a flamingo tonight with a scarf around its neck, but sometimes that's not easy to do for me. And not that that's gonna drop. And if you know me, I've dropped before. Not that this little dude's, he's not difficult, but the neck, going the right direction for the neck is a little more thought process. it's not difficult, but if I'm sleepy, I overthink things already, and so trying to do something that is, because flamingos, they have this curve, and it's almost like a backwards S because of the way their neck, depending on how you look at it. And they do other things with their neck, but when you're trying to, get it right. I feel like that's not where I wanted it, but that's where it's going to go, because I'm going to put some eyelashes on them. The white was very, very thick, and that gets me in trouble sometimes. But as I say, this is just paint. So we're just, and eyelashes, those get me. Because I can sometimes do them okay, and then sometimes the shake gets me. The shake gets me. Eyes are not my friends, people. I should have just did a little dot down here. But, just gonna put a little where it takes a little bit of the black. So, there we go. Now, I'm just putting a little tiny definition in that. I don't want it to be like too much. So sometimes what I do is I put something on, and then I go back in, and this way it's there, but it's just like a define, and when it dries, it's really not going to be big time. So, I like the way this foot has a lot of the white down there. Just kind of happened that way, but I wanted that a little bit more. Okay, so alrighty, all right. So please follow, like, subscribe, whatever it is, and ask more questions if you have more questions about the paintings or paint itself. I hope the person that asked is watching, because I don't have a specific answer, because like I showed you, that there is so many different things I do with the paints. So that's kind of how come I can't say specifically. But like even when I do the backgrounds, this is a black paint. A lot of times I'll use the Craft Smarter. These just depends. I've got so many, but we paint 3 or 4 at a time, and so will paint one after another. So even like when I'm painting, this had a blue with it or an orange or something. I forget which one way I did them. And so this is black, but yet it's going to have some of the blue because I don't wash the brushes in between. And I'm okay with that. If I need a specific color, like a white or something, then I do very specific things with that. I feel like I want to do, when I did this one yesterday, and it's so funny because this was actually one of my favorite ones I've done in a while, just because I like the craziness of this stuff. And it hardly got anybody on my pages and different things. No love. Which is fine. It's just funny because it's like when I think I really like something, it's like, nope, that's not the one. Plus, the way the algorithms or whatever, it doesn't always even reach the people that need to see it or want to see it or so it's hard to say that. So I try not to overthink any of this because it's just paint and it's just fun, and it's a way to share our autism journey and cancer, which I'm cancer free. But cancer free does not mean you're not emotionally still invested and continuously going to appointments and everything else, because you are for months, years later. You have to do so many things, and it's emotionally a lot that is involved in all of this whole thing. So even though I'm cancer free, I'm not emotionally or technically out of it, because you get tested and you are, doing these different things for how long, So we just keep shining and let God be the glory, Okay, I think we're about there. I'm about tired, so this was fun. A fun bird. Okay. So I had very little paint in that one. Making a mess. So I do O for Owen, and then L. My L's have been a little interesting the last few days. And then B. So there we go. All right. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of our day. Toodles, toodles.